create the face you want, and that's it. You don't have to worry about trying to play with it and getting things to work and work together. You just simply set it up as you want it. However, this system is going to have a lot more flexibility to it. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to work on one side of the face here and just try and get it looking the way that I want. It's looking quite nice. And what I have is a mirror morph script that we're going to use to actually make this a symmetrical morph now that we've corrected one side and we've worked on it. Maybe we could work on it a bit more. And I'm going to show you how to use that tool as well. And I believe there's others available, as well as paid plugins as well that will do mirror morph targets. But this one works quite well. I've written it just specifically for this DVD series. The mirror morph script is something I just wrote up for this, and it's just called mirror verts test. And what it basically does, it gives you a couple of functions for setting up mirrors. The first function is get mirror data, and it has a threshold that you can input into it. Essentially, the lower the threshold, the more accurate it's going to be, because what it's doing is it's essentially going and looking at a selection of vertices of the original, and it's finding the right and left sides to the character, which one goes with which. Now, if your character's perfectly symmetrical, the default threshold should work. If it's not, if it's off, if it's been adjusted, you may have to increase this threshold. This script really isn't meant to deal with characters that are not symmetrical. For all intents and purposes. It would start to fall apart. It's pretty simple. It also has very little error checking, so you have to use it exactly the way I sort of suggest you to use it. One of them being is it works specifically on poly objects at the base level, not meshes, so we have to make sure we have a poly object. The second function is the mirror morph, and the one parameter it takes is symmetry, true or false. And with false, what it'll do is it'll mirror the target, like a true mirror of the target. So the left side to the right side to the left. If we say symmetry true, what it'll do is it'll mirror the right to the left. And it's specifically all it does is right to left. It doesn't do the other way around. So you have to work on the right side of the face, the character's right side of the face, for that to work. It happens to be the way I work. You can change that around by swapping some of the code around in here, which array is working with which. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to evaluate the script just by saying evaluate all. And if we take a look at the Mac script listener, it should, when we do that, it should actually give us get mirror data and mirror morph. Now, like I said, if I were to pick, we have to start with the original head, and in this case it's this one, and you're going to see that it's going to crash right away the script. It's an editable mesh, and if I say mirror get mirror data, put my mouse on that line and say shift enter, and immediately it's going to throw an error because this isn't a base level of a poly. The other thing you have to make sure is that you're at frame 0 and the head isn't morphed or being pulled by skin or anything, so you might actually want to just turn off morpher and skin and make sure that there's nothing changed about the model. So I'm also going to go to change the base model. I'm just going to say poly select right above the edit mesh and then say collapse 2. And now when we run this, it'll take a second, but what it'll do is it'll go and find mirror vertices. Now, to speed it up a bit, and I've already got this happening, is that there's a selection of vertices selected. If there are no vertices selected, you'll see that the get mirror data will find nothing. So this is basically representing the right side, the left side, and the center line vertices. So it's designed to work on a selection of vertices. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and pick a selection of vertices. And it doesn't matter whether you get them the exact same ones on the right or left side. Just make sure you get them around the area that you're going to need for the most part. You can limit the which ones you are picking up as much as you want, just to help speed it up a bit more. The more it has to think about, the slower it'll be in mirroring the target. And so now I'm going to say get mirror data, and you can see that it's found 819 on